The 2026 FIFA World Cup has already produced more shocks in its opening week than some entire tournaments. 3 favorites stumbled. 2 nations nobody expected are sitting at the top of their groups. And the qualification picture, the thing every pundit thought they had figured out, is in chaos. Stay with us, because by the end of this film you will know exactly who is through, who is on the edge, and which single match next week could be the most important game of the entire group stage. The 2026 tournament is the first ever 48-team World Cup, co-hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, 16 cities, 11 venues in the USA alone, and a format that means 104 matches across the whole competition. The expanded format means 12 groups of 4 teams each, with the top 2 from every group advancing plus 8 best third-place finishers. That creates more jeopardy earlier, which is exactly why this opening week has already felt like a final. Let us start with the shock that stopped feeds worldwide. Japan vs Germany, a rematch of the 2022 Qatar moment that humiliated one of football's giants. In MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, Japan did it again. Japan won 2-1 against Germany in Group E. Germany led at halftime through a Kai Havertz penalty. Japan equalized through Ritsu Doan, the same player who scored against Germany in Qatar, then substitute Kaoru Mitoma won it with a 78th-minute header. Germany's record now reads 1 loss, 0 wins from their opening fixture. Germany now faces the same elimination cliff edge as 2018 in Russia, when they crashed out of the group stage entirely. Their coach Julian Nagelsmann called the performance unacceptable in his post-match press conference. But Japan's story is not the only one rewriting the script this week, and the next shock is even bigger. Group A delivered the tournament's opening match and immediately set the tone. The host nation, the United States, faced defending champions Argentina in Dallas's AT&T Stadium in front of 93,000 fans, the largest crowd of the opening round. Argentina won 1-0, but the scoreline flatters neither side. Lionel Messi, now 38, played 67 minutes and created the decisive goal, a clipped through ball to striker Lautaro Martinez, who finished calmly in the 54th minute. The United States hit the post twice and had a goal ruled out for offside in the second half. Messi was substituted to a standing ovation even by the opposition crowd, a genuinely extraordinary moment in American sporting history. The question now is whether this is his last World Cup, and whether Argentina can defend. But there is a man in Group B who is threatening to make this entire tournament about one player, and we will get to him in a moment. First, the week's cleanest result and the table movement it created. In Group C, Spain defeated Morocco 3-0 in Philadelphia, a performance of suffocating possession and clinical finishing that made Lamine Yamal, just 18 years old, look like the best player on the planet. Yamal scored once and assisted twice. Spain registered 71% possession, 22 shots, and conceded nothing. Morocco, Africa's 2022 semi-finalists, were beaten to every second ball and managed just 2 shots on target all game. Spain sit top of Group C with a +3 goal difference before anyone else has played. If you are Morocco or the third team in that group, you are already doing the arithmetic on what a draw might mean for your survival. Now, back to Group B, and the man who may be the most unstoppable force in this tournament. Erling Haaland. Norway vs Ecuador, Sophie Stadium, Los Angeles. Haaland scored a hat-trick completed in the 28th minute, the fastest hat-trick by time of completion in World Cup history, as Norway won 4-1. It was Norway's first World Cup since 1998 and Haaland's first World Cup goal after qualifying torture that nearly kept him home. Haaland's hat-trick was completed in the 28th minute, faster than any hat-trick in World Cup tournament history, surpassing the previous record set by Hungary's Laszlo Kiss in 1982, whose 3 goals against El Salvador were completed in the 76th minute. Haaland finished the match with 3 goals, 2 shots off target, and 4 key passes. He is already leading the Golden Boot race after the opening matchday, and the whisper around the tournament is that Norway, ranked 25th in the world going in, could be the dark horse of this entire competition. Let us now walk the top scorer leaderboard after the opening round of group matches, because this is where the tournament story starts to crystallize. Haaland leads alone on 3 goals. Behind him, 6 players are on 2 or 1. Mbappé's 2 goals came in France's 3-1 win over Portugal, a match that was billed as the Group D final before it even started, and it delivered every bit of that billing. The two teams met in Levi's Stadium, Santa Clara, and for 60 minutes it looked like a draw was the most likely result. France broke the deadlock through Mbappé in the 61st minute, a free kick struck low beneath the wall, a technique he reportedly worked on for 6 weeks specifically for this tournament. He added a second on the counter in stoppage time. Portugal pulled one back through Cristiano Ronaldo's penalty, but it was too late, and Ronaldo's record now reads 1 goal in his 6th World Cup. Ronaldo at 41 years old remains the most discussed figure in world football, but Portugal now face a must-win situation in their second fixture. And Mbappé, liberated from his club chaos after his Real Madrid contract dispute dominated last winter, looks like a man playing with something to prove to an entire planet. Brazil's 2-0 win over South Korea in Group F was workmanlike rather than spectacular, but Vinicius Jr.'s opening goal, a 37th-minute solo run cutting inside from the left flank and curling into the top corner, was the aesthetic high point of the tournament's opening week. Both goals were scored before halftime. Let us now look at the full group table picture after match day 1, across all 12 groups. The big stories: Japan and Spain top their groups, Norway surprise leaders in Group B, and defending champions Argentina lead Group A despite an unimpressive performance. England's 2-0 win over Senegal in Group G was efficient and professional, both goals coming from set pieces, a Phil Foden corner converted by Harry Kane in the 39th minute and a Jude Bellingham free-kick routine finished by Bukayo Saka just after the hour. No fireworks, but no concerns. The same cannot be said for the Netherlands. The Netherlands needed a 90th-minute equaliser to draw 1-1 with Romania in Group H, a result that leaves them top only on goal difference and means their second fixture is already a pressure match. Coach Ronald Koeman was visibly frustrated at full-time, calling the performance unworthy of a World Cup contender. Now let us talk about what this week's results mean for the qualification picture, because with 48 teams and a format that sends 8 third-place finishers through, the margins are tighter and the mathematics more complex than any previous World Cup. The practical consequence is this: a team that loses their first game is not dead, but they need at minimum 4 points from their remaining 2 matches. A team that wins their first game can qualify with a draw in Game 2, which means next week's second round of group fixtures will produce the tournament's first confirmed qualifiers and its first confirmed eliminations. Which brings us to next week's fixtures, and there are 4 matches on the schedule that could define the entire tournament. First, Germany vs Costa Rica in Group E on Thursday. Germany must win to stay alive. A draw eliminates them before their third game. Second, and this may be the match of the round, Argentina vs Mexico, a rivalry with history stretching from 1986 to 2022, now played out in front of a predominantly Mexican home crowd at SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles on Saturday. Mexico drew their opening game and need a result. Argentina need a win to confirm qualification. Third, Portugal vs Ghana on Friday, a dead rubber for Portugal if word gets around that they are already out of contention after a heavy defeat. And fourth, the fixture the neutrals want most, Norway against their Group B rivals, sitting on maximum points with contrasting styles, in a match that sends a statement to the entire draw. Meanwhile, Spain face their own crucial second fixture in Group C, and both results together will clarify the picture at the top of each table. Here is what the second matchday schedule looks like in terms of the most consequential kick-off times, all times Eastern Standard. So here is where we stand after the most explosive opening week in World Cup history. Japan have now beaten Germany twice in successive World Cups, a fact that should terrify every established European power. Holland has already broken a record that stood since 1982. Spain looked genuinely frightening. And the United States, playing on home soil in front of what organizers are calling the largest live football audience in American history, still have everything to play for. The 48-team format was supposed to water down the drama. Instead, it has created a pressure system where every match feels like a final, where established giants can fall before the knockout rounds even begin, and where the 8 best third-place finishers, a number that will be decided on goal difference and head-to-head records in the final hours of group play, may be the most stressful calculation in football history. The tournament question that will define the next 2 weeks: can Germany escape elimination? Can Ronaldo keep Portugal alive? And is Erling Haaland about to rewrite the Golden Boot record with 3 group games still to play? The answers begin Thursday. Tell us in the comments, who is your dark horse for this tournament, and do you think Germany find a way back, or is 2026 the year they crash out in the group stage for a second time in 8 years? Drop your prediction below. And if you want next week's Matchday 2 full recap, every result, every table update, and whoever gets eliminated first, subscribe now, because that film drops the moment the second round ends. Do not miss it.